So if the seed system is well developed, then the agricultural system is well developed. So when we say seed system, it's more of both the seed and the input. Because farmers who buy seed, they most likely will buy fertilizer. They will use improved agronomic practices, which may entail the use of maybe insecticide, herbicide, etc., fertilizer, close planting, etc. So we also know that only about 20% of our farmers are actually buying improved seed. So this is where to start to actually increase our productivity.
Abdullahi Sabo, the project manager in charge of the Hadija Jama'ari River Basin, said the authority will help the farmers to produce good produce.
Hadija Jama'ari is supposed to be chosen because it's the biggest project, the largest project in Nigeria, even in West Africa, not in Nigeria.
Correspondent Hafsat Abdullahi Danmadi reports that the event was attended by the traditional rulers of the town. One of Nigeria's most successful basketball coaches, Adewumi Aderemi, has showered praises on the federal government for stamping out the maladministration bedeviling the progress of basketball development in Nigeria. Correspondent Hanif Adamukiawa has details of this and other sports updates.
The Nigerian government, in an announcement made by the country's sports minister, Sunday Dari, recently announced that Nigeria will take a 2-year break from international basketball following the 5-year leadership impasse that has truncated the development of the sports in the country. But Adewumi Aderemi, a major stakeholder in the sport who was in the technical crew of the national women team that qualified for the World Cup in February in Siberia, said it was good to take a break and saw the 5-year problem rocking basketball in Nigeria. In another update, the Nigerian Football Federation has received heavy criticism for its decision to appoint Jose Peseiro as the head coach of the Super Eagles. The 62-year-old Portuguese tactician was confirmed yesterday to lead the 3-time African champions and will be assisted by Finidi George, Salisu Yusuf, Usman Abdullahi, and Iki Shorumu. Peseiro, who has wide and varied experience in coaching top clubs and national teams across 4 different continents, will come in to replace German Gernot Rohr, who was fired late last year. He will be in charge for the first time when the Super Eagles face Mexico on May 28th, before heading to New Jersey to confront Ecuador at the Red Bull Arena in Harrison on June 2nd. Meanwhile, supporters have backed Nigerian striker Asisat Oshoala to make the nomination list for Ballon d'Or after wrapping up the women's Spanish Primera Division as the top scorer with Barcelona Feminine yesterday. The 27-year-old Super Falcons forward achieved the feat after scoring 20 goals in 16 league appearances and will share the award with Brazilian Geis Ferreira, who managed to score 20 goals in 27 appearances for Madrid CFF. And on tennis, former British number 1 Laura Robson, who won Junior Wimbledon at 14 and an Olympic silver medal at 18, has confirmed her retirement from tennis. The 20-year-old rose to 27 in the world rankings and reached the 4th round at Wimbledon and the US Open. Hanif Adam Kiawa, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The National Executive Council of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has marked the beginning of their 2-week nationwide definite warning strike directed by the National Executive Council. The chairman of ASUP Association Kano Chapter, Dr. Muntaka Dahiru, said that they decided to embark on a 2-week warning strike effective from today, Monday, which directs its members to shut down all academic activities completely for the stated period.
Issues that brings about this 2 weeks warning strike are many. And if you remember that we were on strike last year, and then we now called off the strike, or rather we suspended the strike. And then we are now back again because we've given government an ultimatum of 1 month, lapsed on the 4th. In our own case as well, because I want to be as specific as possible, we have this improper career progression pattern in Kano State Polytechnic and Audu Bako College of Agriculture. This is what we call adjustment. Achieved certain things to that to a large extent. The head of service have already taken it up. The other issues which actually pertains generally the polytechnics in the country include the non-release of the 15 billion revitalization fund to the institution, not to the lecturers.
Dr. Muntaka noted that the union is calling on all stakeholders and well-meaning citizens to support the union in its struggle in order to ensure the survival of the sector as they press their demands to make the authority do the needful. Correspondent Safarao Tijani Adam reports that the chairman pleaded with parents and students to understand the union as the struggle is aimed at saving the sector from imminent collapse before its subsequent privatization to few individuals. Sir Ahmadu Bello was the first and only premier of northern Nigeria. The Sardauna of Sokoto was born in Rabah, Sokoto State, Nigeria on June 12, 1910. He was the son of a district head and heir to the Sokoto Emirate. His great-grandfather was Sultan Bello, one of the revered Usman Danfodio, who founded the Fulani Empire, the largest in sub-Saharan Africa. In continuation of Global News History series, Muhammad Sani Uba takes a look into the life of Sir Ahmadu Bello and files in this report.
Everywhere in the northern region of Nigeria, for the blessing of self-government which we have received this day through his help, and for the blessing of progress which has long been...
Sir Ahmadu Bello received his education first at the feet of Muslim masters, studying the Quran, the Hadith, the Sharia, then at Sokoto Middle School, the only modern school at the time in Sokoto province between 1917 to 1926. He then proceeded to the Katsina Teachers Training College. After spending 5 years at Katsina, Bello was appointed by the Sultan as a teacher in his own former school in Sokoto. In 1934, he was made the district head of Rabah within the Sultan's administration. In 1938, he made an unsuccessful bid to become the new Sultan of Sokoto. The successful Sultan immediately conferred on him the traditional, now honorary title of Sardona and elevated him to the Sokoto Native Authority Council. Bello first became politically active in 1945 when he helped to form a youth social cycle, which later in 1948 affiliated with the Northern People's Congress, MPC, of which he became President General in 1954. In 1948, he was offered a scholarship to study local government administration in England, sensing he needed to help his knowledge about the process of governance. In 1954, Sir Ahmad Bello became the first premier of Northern Nigeria. In the 1959 independence elections, he led the MPC to win a plurality of the parliamentary seats. Bello's NPC forged an alliance with Dr. Nmanzi Azikwe's NCNC to form Nigeria's first indigenous federal government, which led to independence from Britain. The Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, was named after him. On 15 January 1966, Sir Ahmadu Bello was assassinated by Major Chukuma Kaduna Nzegu, an Igbo Nigerian army officer, in a coup which toppled Nigerian post-independence government. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
And on business, Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has updates.
The Executive Director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, Dr. Israel Kusak, said exporters should expect an additional 375 million naira under the Export Expansion Grant, EEG, program of the federal government. Yakusak stated this at a sensitization entitled Export for Survival that held yesterday in Abuja. He said the sensitization, which is the second in its series this year, was beginning to yield results owing to the influx of exporters at the agency's office to register and get more information on export processes. Meanwhile, at the Bureau de Change, today $1 traded for 598.6 kobo, €1 for 785 naira, 1 British pound for 730 naira, CFA 920 naira, while Saudi Riyal was 156 naira. Moving on to the prices of commodities at the Douano market in Kano, 1 bag of maize goes for 20,000 naira, guinea corn for 19,000 naira, and millet traded for 24,000 naira. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, Sweden and Finland have confirmed they will apply for NATO membership in a historic shift that comes as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In Sweden, the governing Social Democrats say they backed joining the Western Security Alliance, paving the way for the country to apply. The announcement came soon after Finland formally announced it too would apply to join the grouping. We've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zahra Zannah, thank you for listening.
This is Freedom Global News.
Freedom Pop. Freedom, 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 freedom.